The entire team at Emsolation want to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. We want to recognise that we are recording and telling our stories on the stolen land of our country's first storytellers. We wish to pay our respects to all Wurundjeri elders and ancestors, and to extend that respect to any First Nations peoples who listen to Emsolation. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples' continued connection to the land and waters of this country, and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. Always was, always will be.
You're about to hear an episode of The Marriage Diaries, an exclusive series created by Em and her husband Scott for our premium service, Emsolation Extra. There's never been a better time to join our extra family. You can sign up for less than $2 a week on a yearly plan, and you'll get 2 bonus episodes a week delivered to you in an exclusive feed via your favourite podcast app, Instagram close friends access, 20% off our merch, pre-sale ticket access, and so much more. You can sign up now at emsolation.supercast.com.
Extra.
It's Emsolation Extra.
Well, hello there and welcome to the second ever edition of Emsolation Extra. My name is Em Rossiano. I'm a writer, a singer, a stand-up comedian, a maximalist power queen, a neurodivergent magic brain, and I nearly went into my Thursday intro. Pavlov's dog, goodness me. No, it's just me because it's Emsolation Extra. I'm also a podcaster. I didn't get to say that. Part 2. Have you been hanging all week? Have you been ready? Last week, obviously, Scott and I started our, what would you call it? Revealing dissection of our marriage. And we left off with Scott feeling personally attacked. We're going to pick up now after our discussion around the domestic load and the mental load, and basically how I felt I carried too much of it. And specifically, I asked him to really quantify how much work he thinks that I do around the house. And he felt like I was blaming him. And so we're going to pick up from that moment. Enjoy.
It's Emsolation Extra.
I feel like you're pointing the finger at me.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
But I'm looking you in the eye and telling you that we are so beyond blame
I know.
at 22 years in and 3 kids.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not interested, and I've never been interested in blame. I'm interested in
What I think about one of the
change.
things I think about is that.
Do you think you could do more? Genuine question. Do you think?
I could.
Yeah?
I could. Yeah.
But is it fair to say you don't want to because it's boring? Fair to say?
No, because I don't believe that's the root of the problem, because you're still going to do that anyway, because you're still learning to understand your triggers.
But do you think if you did more, it would improve the problem? Not solve it, but do you think it would improve?
I think the return on that would be so minimal to getting the solution. So I don't think.
But what if I said to you it would make a massive difference to me? Like what if I genuinely looked you in the eyes and said, if you picked up more slack, if we were honestly 50-50 with what is required to get our house singing. And
I'm prepared to pick up more slack if you're prepared to look at all the things that you try and do that require our time and energy.
Sure.
So if we're like if we're partners in the decisions that we make, on the decisions that we make that require time and energy and effort, then I'm prepared to do it differently. But if you just sort of keep doing the things that you want and make decisions like that, then I cannot play that game because it's never going to work.
So if I challenged you on the decision stuff and I said, no, this is good. This is good.
No, but
just trust the process. Trust me as your wife and someone who loves you, and trust me to hold the space for us right now. This is my job. I'm really good at it. Just trust me. I can see you getting uncomfortable, but remember, none of this has to go to air if you're not comfortable. But this is a real conversation, and no married couples have real conversations in public. It's all this bullshit, shiny veneer And then all of a sudden, they're splitting up.
All right, keep going.
So just be brave. We can do this, all right? I'm not being condescending. I know this challenges you. I can see it, and this would challenge 90% of straight dudes.
No, it's...
No, I'm just going back to what you said before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked the question, what's the thing that shits you about each other? And your answer was my unilateral decision tendencies.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the number one thing, but it's just something you came up with.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had to think hard about it. I'm glad there isn't an exhaustive list of things that I piss you off about. It's good for us. But I challenge you on the unilateral question, decision thing. And a lot of mothers make all the decisions, right? Like that's, if we're going to be totally general about it.
Yeah, because they're the one it affects the most, so they have to balance it all out.
Correct. And specifically with us, I find when I come to you with a big decision we have to make as a couple, you are impatient with the minutiae. You don't want to be involved in all the little boring checkboxes things like, for say, applying for a mortgage or going on a holiday or if we're going to buy a house or, big life decisions. I feel like you want to be there for the glamour part but not do the boring work and research to get to the decision. So when I end up making decisions out of impatience and I do bulldoze you because I feel like if I waited for you to get on board and take in all the information and remember to do something, we would just never move forward in life. Because sometimes you get analysis paralysis, whereas I'm the option. Oftentimes I do no analysis. But I think that's the reason why I do make decisions without you a lot of the time is because I find you not engaged in the boring part of the decision. And so then I feel resentment towards you and I feel like, well, fuck him. I've had to go to all these boring meetings and answer emails and read all this shit and talk to travel agents or talk to mortgage brokers and go to the bank and get all our statements and like he's done fuck all and I've tried to engage him and he doesn't want to do it or he forgets. So then the next time it comes to making a decision, I bypass you out of spite. Totally. But I guess you're definitely right in your feelings of I don't include you in some decisions, 100%.
No, I'm just seeing it as a mechanical thing. It's like you're sort of, you're saying, I need more. I'm saying, but what for? And I'm not denying what you're saying about why you might have at times made those decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you feeling within your body right now? Be honest.
Yeah, I think it's also the temperature in here, but
You feel hot or cold? You feel cold?
A little bit, but it's okay.
Okay.
There's
people can't see what you're doing.
I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words.
Do you feel like tense?
A sort of
Should we go to a nice question?
No.
I'm really enjoying this because I know the benefit. I know the net effect this is going to have.
Okay, that's good.
I genuinely do. I don't think I've ever seen a couple talk like we're talking right now. And to everybody,
and to be fair, you've probably researched it too.
I have, but also I want everyone to understand who's listening now. This is real. Like Scotty and I are both intensely looking at each other now. Like there's no performing. Like these are issues we have fought about for 20 years. These are issues we have split up twice over. These are real. This is real life stuff. We're not here, skating on the surface and not going deep. This is.
Those two split ups, though, they weren't because of this reason, as in we didn't know that was the reason.
No.
It was just tension and horrible.
It was horrible. I read the other day that Michelle Obama said she hated Barack for 10 years. 10 years she hated him.
Why?
She resented the way he was so single-mindedly going after his career. She felt abandoned by him, not appreciated by him. She felt like, all the things I think a lot of women would say, after a long-term relationship. But they brought it back around. And I remember reading that thinking, oh, there's hope. Because I fucking hated you for a decade and you hated me. I think if any kind of relationship that's been together as long as us were honest, and it mightn't be 10 consecutive years, but I would say there's 10 years of hate between you and I easily. Because if we're being really honest, our relationship is fucking hard work. It's never easy, except when it is. And that takes me to the next question. Okay?
It's a long
Are you
question,
okay?
wasn't it? Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, it's from Kirsty. And she wants to know, what's the quality you admire most in each other? You go first. I'm a bit teary. I feel very emotional. You feel this is I just realised, here's an example of how we get. Scott feels.
I'm feeling edgy and constrained, like it needs to explode but it can't. So it's like this tension in me.
Yeah.
And you're feeling on the edge of
Emotional.
tears or whatever. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
What the quality
that you admire most in each other?
Yeah. The quality I admire in you is ironically the thing that, you know, what you've been talking about, which is your ability to move into action. So that's what I admire, but deeper in that, it's the energy you've got, the vivacity, the life, the spirit, all those sort of that stuff.
Yeah.
And that shows up in some days in action.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like I admire the action, but I love the stuff that's underneath it.
Like, for instance, being dragged on a mushroom hunt over the weekend.
Yeah.
Scott has been victim to my many hyperfixations over the years. And when we learn...
But oftentimes I'm happy to go with the flow. Like a lot of times. That's me. It's
but
the other flip side of it too.
Why we work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you didn't go...
Because imagine if I was leading from the front with my hyperfixations at the same time as you. I don't think... Do you know what I mean? It'd be fucked.
Totally.
In fact, it wouldn't be a relationship. In fact, we would never have met each other.
No, there's no way we would
So
work.
you need to sort of see both sides of the coin, don't you? Always.
Oh, 100%. We make total sense on paper. We really make sense. And I really believe...
But that duality, you know, like say someone's strength is also the weakness if it's overplayed or played at the wrong time or all that.
Yeah.
That duality in the relationship is always the way with the relationships. You know, it's the polarity differences and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. The quality I most admire in you is your ability to just keep things cool when everything around you is complete chaos.
And you might say, oh, that's just him, you know, he goes numb to it, he sticks his head in the sand. And there's a little bit of that, but there's also a little bit of
you're Teflon man.
Definitely for me, as it heats up,
you cool down.
Exactly, I go more focused.
You do.
It almost brings me into clear focus.
Yeah.
But there is also, it's like everything, there's other bits and pieces mixed in there as well, like avoidance or head in the sand as well. So there's a bit of that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, no, Scott's the first person I go to when I'm really confused over a situation because he's able to, I guess, distill it down to kind of robotic.
But before that, I be calm. When I feel that, when you bring that to me,
yeah. But I often have to say to him, first of all, I have to distinguish if I want him to solve or listen.
Yeah, and I stuff that up nearly every time.
That's okay.
Even though anyway.
We're trying. But no, at least we try. You always, the thing with Scott, the other great thing about Scott is I will often give him an onslaught of unsolicited feedback.
Feedback on me.
On your behaviour.
Yeah.
And to your credit, you initially just completely shut down and look at me like, you're a lunatic, shut up. But then I will notice the next day, obviously some of those things sat okay with you and you shift. Like you do, to your credit, you don't get stuck in the mud.
What pisses me off when you do that is not what.
Yeah,
it's how. Every time. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, we have very different communication. You're right there.
No, that's what?
That's aggressive again.
No, that's how I felt when you do that. Fuck off.
Anyway, as
you want to know how I feel? There it is.
The thing I love about you most is you're often joked. You're the thing I tie the kite to, the anchor. You're my anchor. And it's so important. Otherwise, I would just be blasted off into space and it would be not good. So I think...
And yesterday, in a moment of energy, you were saying how good it would be if it was just you could go on these hyperfixation journeys. So you'd be like Wall-E in space with a jetpack just spurting over there.
No, the thing was, I wanted to set up a laboratory for my new mushroom
That was
obsession.
my suggestion. I said, do you think you need a lab? And you said, yes, I do.
And I was deadly serious.
Yes, I do.
And I said, if you didn't live here, if we went
I would have a lab. I was like, oh, fuck off. You wouldn't even have a lab.
I would.
You wouldn't.
I would. I would
wouldn't.
go out that day and buy everything I needed and set it up. Do you know me at all?
You wouldn't have a lab.
I would have a lab.
You'd have other things.
Oh, my God.
You would have an art studio and that's the other thing you said you'd have. You'd have a room with clay. That was it. Just clay.
That's true.
No tables, no sculpting tools, just clay.
It's Emsolation Extra.
Okay, this is from Ben Demick. How does Scott feel about Em's interior design decisions? Pink bathroom, rainbow ceiling.
In short, I feel great about it. I love it. It's awesome. Initially, because it was different than what I grew up with, I thought, it was like too much. Like ultimately, it's just about it being different. But again, you get used to stuff, and as you get used to stuff, you see it for what it is, and I love it. No one can challenge you on your use of colours and I don't know, whatever those design elements are.
Yeah.
Like even yesterday, you had Elio dressed in some shoes, some jeans, and a jacket. It was amazing.
Yeah, but also you just don't get a choice.
That's right.
But you're okay with that.
But I'm also supposed to be incredibly enthusiastic when you bring the neon fluoro moose head through the doors. Like, Scott, look at this.
Yeah.
It was on sale. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. It generally is. I am a bargain hunter. I love it.
That's another part of the hunt, isn't it?
It's a thrill.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question. This is from Ash. How do you not resent Scott's long rides? Interesting question.
Well, maybe for you is like when don't you? As in, I'm assuming there's times when you don't.
I don't resent them because I get the best version of Scott when he returns from them, and I learnt that very early on. I do resent them if Scott's taking the piss and he tries to go for, 3 in a row, but Scott is very conscious of that, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't. I'm very conscious of
You are.
the time it takes and when I try to do it and all that sort of stuff.
But
so it's
you
not
don't
as though
feel like I restrict you.
No, you don't restrict it. There's times when I can sense that, yeah, you don't want to know about it and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, I don't know.
You ride whenever you want to ride pretty much, though, as long as there's enough notice. I mean, no, ultimately you would ride every day.
No, I don't. The thing that I would like that in relation to riding is just having a reliable schedule when I know I can ride because of.
Well, sadly, we're in a family of 5.
No, but or if it was 8 at night or at 6 in the morning, whatever it is,
But oftentimes you don't feel like riding too.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
But in terms of...
Anyway, go back to the question. What was the question?
I only resent Scott's long rides if they happen in...
On the back of...
Yeah. Because that means Saturday, and the rides are long. He leaves early and then he's gone until midday, and then if he wants to do something that night and then again to the next morning, and he's worked for most of the week.
And I rarely stack that because of that. I almost never...
Last weekend you stacked that.
Yeah, that was like... I couldn't remember the last time I would have done it like that. It's not as though I'm pushing that every month or every fortnight.
I'm not someone who limits, like it's not a thing where, Scott's off with the boys or Scott's off at the pub or la, la, la. Like that's just not how we are. We're both.
But I don't do anything else either. I don't.
But that's not because I stop you from doing
No, but
things.
I don't. Like I don't go to the pub. I don't drink.
No.
I don't gamble. I don't spend time or money in that. So it's like the only thing I do really. You know what I mean? Oh. No, I'm saying.
Babes?
No, but I'm not spending time and energy and away and money elsewhere.
No, but also I think it's important to point out, maybe it's a rarity, but our family is incredibly close. The girls and you and I and Elio, we choose to be together rather than go off and find other things to do. Our kids are with us every weekend. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think because of the pandemic, we kind of really brought us together as a family, and I don't think we've lost that close-knit feeling since we've kind of come out of lockdown. And I don't know, I mean, Odie obviously is up in her room a lot, but she's 16, but she always wanders down. She drifts down to us, doesn't she? But I think
it was good the other day when Marcella said, "Don't go back in your cave." So even Chella wanted the Odie because everyone loves Odie. So everyone wanted her down.
But I think to answer your question in short, if your partner has a pursuit that lights them up, why wouldn't you want to encourage them to do that, as often as is reasonably possible? Because when they get back, they're often in a way better headspace to do other things and be a better version of themselves. But it's also important, having said that you have your version of that. If you are the person in the family like me who is in charge of all the domestic load and the balancing of the bills and the schedules and the school runs and the lunches and the food shopping and all that stuff, it's really important that you have a version of that so that I guess you understand why your partner loves it so much.
Yeah, and the two conversations that I always want to try and have with you, which I never feel like we quite reconcile, is, so if I wanted to do that, what's it going to take for you to feel completely comfortable with that? And then also,
I can answer that if you want to have that conversation.
Yeah, good. Not just yet. Let me finish. So
almost like what's right now.
Yeah, so if I want that, what do you need to feel completely, good about that and fine with that? And the other one is, what is your version of that? What is it? And let's plan it in.
Okay. Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah. Well, you had your clay stuff there, Friday.
I still do that. I still do. I still make my monsters.
You do. That's a good point. Yeah. So you went to the pottery class for a little while.
Yeah.
And then something happened, and then you've done those ones.
Something happened.
And now you're going to get a room full of clay.
And a mushroom laboratory.
Something happened? What do you mean something happened?
I couldn't fit it in.
Yeah, I know.
That's ironically, my hobby is not prioritised. Your hobby is prioritised. Between the two of us, I could not take out the amount of time you take out for your hobby. I absolutely think the wheels would fall off. We can't.
Yes. So within the way it is currently, probably not.
No.
But my attitude was, okay, let's put it in and then recalibrate everything else. But that's what I don't think you...
I don't have confidence in you sticking to anything that you're bored with. And I think it would be fair to say you've got a lot of great qualities. You've got great bum, amazing jaw, you're kind, you're trustworthy, you're smart, you're hot, you're a good dad. But if you're not into it, it's like fucking dragging you through sleet on your knees. It's so painful. If you can't see the benefit to you, oh Christ. I just want to tell you, if this is the God's honest truth, hand on heart.
So
I am used to doing shit that I don't want to do.
So you do too much of that part,
Correct.
and I do too little of that part.
Which I think
fair enough. I accept that.
I think that would be the same in most
I'm
houses.
just thinking too, the times when I have been able to, again, it's still about me. The times when I do those sorts of things well, those things I don't really want to do, it's because in my mind, there's a payoff, you know what I mean? So
100%.
That's life.
I've gamed you so many times with that knowledge. Oh my God, you fool.
No.
And you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is, like you've just described? ADHD. Do you think you have ADHD, Scott Barrow?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I know you think I do.
Do you think there's a chance?
There's a chance.
Yeah.
Chance for anything.
Yeah. Think maybe inattentive type, bit of a dreamer, struggles to do stuff that's not directly in their wheelhouse.
Maybe.
Struggles to get motivated on the minutiae of, say, big decisions. Absolutely 100%. I'm pathologizing my husband right now. I think that all of us are neurodivergent in our house. I think all of us are spicy-brained individuals.
Spicy.
Just got to get you diagnosed. We'll get down to the last few questions. A lot of people wanted to know, how has my diagnosis of ADHD and autism affected our marriage? How has it affected it for you specifically? And we've never talked about this really.
Big question.
And I'm very interested in your answer.
How has it affected it? You've got a better understanding of yourself and how that means that you interact with the whole world. And so, and you're very explicit in your learnings with me. So you're just always telling me about stuff. Always. But it's good. Like I learn a lot. So what am I trying to say? Like, how is it affected or how has it helped? Was it affected? Understanding. And I guess, yeah, that just allows you to make better decisions in relation to the other person. Like for me, because I do understand, then I can make a better decision. It's as simple as that. I mean,
do you do that?
Yeah.
Can you list off the things that you know set off my autism ADHD? They're pretty funny.
Everything.
Go. List off the very niche ones for you.
Oh, the niche ones.
Go on.
All right. When we're about 8 months into our relationship, she's sitting next to me in the couch. She goes, "Can you stop chewing so loud?" I'm like, "Fucking hell. I'm just eating my food, man."
Chewing.
Multiple sounds at once, as in like if the TV was on and there was an engaging conversation, then maybe there was a chainsaw outside, seriously. And to be honest, that does bug me as well. Like that gets to me. But where I think I might be different than you is I find it really hard to listen to that conversation if there's background hum. So anyway, that might be the same or different. So those sounds, over sensory, like being overstimulated, too much noise, like say in a shopping mall, something like that. But also there's a combination of when you are trying to get stuff done and you feel like you've got to look after, say, know where the kids are and manage that, and the sensory sort of stuff, and you're trying to sort of reach some sort of outcome or goal, like we're here to get a job done, or you know what I mean? It's when it's all those factors combining at the same time, then it just becomes too much. That's what jumps in my head. They're not very. The chewing was the most specific one.
Oh, I would say when you fucking play stuff out of your iPhone. I would say that's the number one thing that pisses me off.
Yeah,
that
it's funny. I can be 50 metres away in the house, and I turn the volume down low, and then she'll come in with an axe.
Pretty much.
Not
an actual axe, but a metaphorical one. When you play videos out of your phone, I genuinely, if someone slid a divorce paper under my nose, would sign it in blood. That is my number one trigger, is that tinny sound out of your... But I can listen to sounds out of my phone.
Because you've chosen to listen to it.
Because you are a noisy fucking individual. Everything about you is moist and clicky and grunty, and like you're just a virile, hotbed individual.
I cough a lot.
You sniff.
Itchy throat.
Oh, itchy throat.
The ENT region in my physique is not really. It needs a workover.
Morning.
Yeah.
For the past 20.
Clearing the throat, because I'm a mouth breather, and that's the sign of the snoring too. So there's a lot of possibilities here.
An autistic person, wake up to this. Do it. No, do it.
No, I can't remember how to do it, to be honest.
Don't you play down what that sound. My mother is traumatised from that sound. Yeah, remember we went down to their beach house? And it was the first time you'd ever stayed there, and she woke up to that noise. And so you're just a cacophony of sound. And often your very existence, if I'm low on spoons, like it sends me. I fucking hate you. And then I would be like, why are you such an asshole, Em? He's just living his life. And then when I got diagnosed, I was like, oh, okay, it's neither of your faults. Like, it's okay. And I've been able to tolerate you much better when I'm low on spoons.
And that was the famous comment, the most famous comment in our whole relationship, people. I'm going to have to tell you this. So probably midway through our relationship, so we've been going 23 years.
22.
So 10 years, or something. 10 years in, we were sitting there, calm, relaxed. Amy turns to me and looks at me in the eye and said, you know, Scott, out of all the people in the world, and then this is my version of you know, me stretching you, look into your eyes. Out of all the people in the world,
Yeah.
I want you to know that you're the one I tolerate the most.
I think we'll end on that. It's true. It's true. We're barnacled on. I can't get rid of you.
What a criteria.
Can't
Tolerance.
get rid of me. I would say if we both had to distill down the secret, like if everyone's listening going, okay, dickhead's great, that was nice, but what is the secret? What is that?
Secret of what?
Our long-term relationship survival. Sexy tolerance.
What's that mean?
Sexy tolerance. So there's got to be elements of like,
It's like our soul and spirit and energy are connected.
yeah,
But our heads, our thinking.
our brains hate
the
each
two,
other.
yeah,
mate.
it's two, so it's like there's this, like a Siamese, twin sort of
Yeah.
connected
I
sort
don't know
of.
that we call them that name.
Oh, sorry.
Conjoined.
Sorry,
It's
I
okay.
no
It's
offense.
okay. No.
But you know that sort of connected at the
Yeah, we are.
the core of your body,
We are.
and then the heads are separate.
Our heads do not get along.
Sometimes you know those two
sex is good though. Our sex life
You know
is
the
good.
snakes.
Hey?
One
Yeah,
with
cobras.
the snakes. Yeah, I read the other day. You know when they're conjoined snakes.
Yeah.
They often the same body,
How
snake's
romantic.
head,
Yeah.
two snakes' head, and one head tries to eat the other. And I don't try and eat. You did try and do the eating, but
Last snake standing. Probably be me. Let's be real. I want it more. A lot of people, before we go, a lot of people did ask about sex. We go through phases. We went for months and months and months and months. There was nothing. And then it's back on. It's me. It's never Scott. I'm always the one that stops it and starts it. But I think with the sex stuff, it's always better after we have it. Like after we have sex, our relationship is always improved. Do you notice that?
yeah, more relaxed.
You're very good at the sex too, which helps. I mean, I can't help if your husband is not good at it. Scott is exceptionally good at it. I feel like Gwyneth Paltrow talking about how Ben is
I think you
technically
need to rewind this bit up.
absolutely not. A lot of people asked about the sex. Sex,
Emsolation extra.
extra. Yeah, no, the sex is great with Scott, but probably he would say not often enough. I also find my medication takes away my sex drive completely. So if I know I want to have some sexy tolerance time with Scott, I don't take my ADHD meds on the weekend.
What an aspirational idea, sexually tolerance time.
Yeah, but honest, that's what it takes. Sexy tolerance.
I know, but you're getting serious now, and I was just sort of being playful then. So come on, work with me
Oh,
here.
can I eat your head now? Is that when this is the time? Thank you for doing this. I know this challenged you greatly.
Not as much as you think.
How are you feeling in your body now?
I'm feeling relaxed.
Me too. I love you.
I love you.
I don't always like you, but I do love you. You can say it back to me.
I love you.
No, I don't always like you.
No, I don't need to say that bit.
Oh, such a good guy. I'm autistic. I have to tell the truth.
You don't.
I fucking do.
That's just what you tell yourself.
No. Okay, ableist cunt. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.